industry since before it's fully digitized. So first I have to ask, what is your opinion of the change of the media landscape?
It's interesting. I've been with CNN since 2001. This is 17 years at the news network. I know, such a long time. When I first joined CNN in 2001, I was an experiment. I was hired as a multi-platform journalist.
Wow.
So 50% of my time was on CNN.com. We had just launched CNN.com Asia, and 50% on TV. And then over time, I was groomed to be 100% on TV. But as you know, the digital revolution, the social media revolution has taken place since then. So now, even though I'm on air every night, my work goes online, my work goes on social. You're able to see my work on a variety of devices because CNN is no longer a TV news network.
Right.
We are a multi-platform digital news network.
So I can say you're actually a pioneer of the digital media.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm a pioneer. I was at the right place at the right time.
Right.
You know, so I grew up in Silicon Valley. I went to Stanford University. I was using email in 1992. I was designing my own webpage in 1994. I was working in internet publishing in 1996. So I was at the right place at the right time just to see the unfolding of the digital revolution. But one thing I always remind myself is, even though I'm getting older, we always have to embrace the new. So there will always be some sort of new technology, new platform. We cannot rest on our laurels and stick with old habits, but to explore that, which is why I've really embraced social media, for example, over the years.
So how CNN deal with the change? And how do you as a person, as yourself, a person in journalism, deal with all this changing landscape?
CNN embraces the change, and that is what I love about CNN. CNN may be this huge multinational news network, but we operate almost like a startup. We're always hungry to experiment. And it also comes down to, yes, the story, and using new technology to cover the story, but also servicing our viewer. We need to be where our viewers are. And if our viewers are on mobile devices, or on tablet devices, or on social media, we have to make sure that our content reaches them.
So we can say technology is good for the industry.
Yes.
So what do you think, whether the technology is good for journalism?
They're always good and the bad and the ugly, right?
Yes.
Right now we're reporting on the Facebook Cambridge Analytica scandal, right? So there's always this danger of technology biting back. Sometimes it's something that we can predict, sometimes it's something that we can't predict. I think for years I've always been a little bit cautious about Facebook because it's now a cliche. We've said it for so many times and so many years. On Facebook it's free because the product is you.
Right.
So when you use Facebook, what is your product? You're offering your data. So what is Facebook doing with your data? And I've always been a little bit careful about using social media. Of course I use it as an extension of my work as a journalist, but I really have been very careful about my personal information and putting it there. And as we've seen with the scandal unfolding, there was a reason why we should be careful.
Right.
Sometimes a platform could be so big that it could lose track on where that data goes to. And I think it's a question that us as journalists need to explore, but also as digital consumers, we need to be wary of what kind of data are people collecting or platforms collecting, and what are they doing with it, and do they need to be more transparent? And I think as journalists, we also need to encourage our audiences to ask these questions so they could be more empowered as digital consumers.